And there's nothing in my hand. And if
No, there's stuff in your hand still, dipshit. There's air in your hand that is comprised of various different things. You're not in a vacuum at all.
I close it and I open it and there's still nothing. How does that make sense?
If I open my hand and I close it and I open it back up real quick, there's nothing there. How does that make sense? Really? Can't fucking explain that. Hand closes, hand opens, still nothing fucking there. Can't explain that. Goddamn Bill O'Reilly ass grabbing motherfucker. What is up, heathen? How are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. Fabulous day at work. Got a lot of work done. Now I'm pumped up, ready to consume some internet cancer. Because that's what all of these videos are. Internet cancer. Videos determined to give you brain cancer just by watching them.
Well, guys, hey guys, Chris Holzer here, and I'm going to be doing a video based on this girl that I've been seeing. She's making a lot of bad Christian videos, and she's...
let me frame this motherfucker up real quick. Okay, that's a little bit better.
Bashing Christianity. She sticks up for abortion, and she says, I believe in the power that women can have abortion. She believes in many other things, and then she comments on other people's videos and bashes them and tell them how wrong they are, and then she bashes Christianity. Yet she says, I don't bash Christianity, but she does bash Christianity.
Okay, so it sounds like she's a normal fucking person. Way to go for finding a normal fucking girl on the internet, I guess.
According to her videos, there's a lot of bashing in the Christianity. And then she says Nazis were Christians, which is not true. Actually, Nazis were atheists.
Whoa. Nazis were atheists? Gott mit uns, motherfucker. That means God with us in fucking German during World War II. Well, not that Germans changed. In World War II, Hitler had Gott mit uns like plastered all over his gear. He was fucking Christian. He was Catholic, which is Christian. You can't just explain away Hitler with that. I don't even like using Hitler as like an argument against Christianity because it doesn't matter. There have been shitty atheists before. A few years ago, there was a guy that just so happened to be atheist that killed a couple of Muslim kids in North Carolina over a parking spot. Not because atheism told him to, or he saw an atheist video where people were out there like, hey, go fucking kill people in the streets for a parking spot because God doesn't exist. That didn't happen. Also, he's probably going to bring up Pol Pot, Stalin, or these other people that were atheists for all intents and purposes, but only because they didn't believe in a God. It's fine if you want to call them atheists and throw that in our face, but you also have to account for let's see, the Crusades, the conquistadors that came over here, fucking killed all the Native Americans in order to progress Christianity in the New World. Yet Christopher Columbus and shit. I mean, you've got Christianity's got its fair share. So, I mean, that's fine if you want to throw those people on our face, but you've got way more than Hitler in order to answer for as far as like violence and shit.
Hate to tell you. So, a lot of atheists has caused a lot of wars.
Name one war that was fought because there's no God or because the people thought that there was no God. Like, I would really love to know what this war was called. War of 2009, battled on YouTube, that is still raging today.
Was atheism wrong? Well, generally, in my opinion, it is, because they really have no absolute theory of an Earth coming by accident.
Well, I mean, we do have theories that do that. Not atheists. I'm not talking about atheists right now. I'm talking about scientists in general. Atheists just don't believe in a God. I don't know why you got to bring the Earth into this shit. Earth is just sitting over there chillaxing, being like, what the fuck?
From some cosmic bang, and then no creator has ever created this Earth that sprung, plants, thousands of life, and, the human brain, and the human feelings, and the trillion...
and the human feelings, and all of these antlers and stuff on these deer that I shoot every single fall. I shoot them, and then all of these other bacteria and shit that infect you and then give you the shits till you die, and then you've got these bugs that'll drill holes into your eyelids and eye holes and shit, and then you've also got all these African kids that starve to death every day. You can't tell me no intelligent designer didn't create all that shit.
Billions of galaxies, plants, animals, everything. And that all just came by accident.
Not like accident, like it wasn't an accident or anything. I mean, it was random chance. I mean, it goes back. I always mention this whenever these dumb fucks bring it up, but pigeonholing is like, say you've got a rack of 12 holes and you've got 13 pigeons. Okay, you throw the 13 pigeons, and I can guarantee you that at least one of those holes is going to be filled with 2 pigeons. All right. Just like with Pornhub, I'm fairly certain you search anything, you're bound to find a double penetration video.
Yet they have absolutely no proof. Science, you can sit here and tell me you have no proof God exists. How do you know that God doesn't exist?
I don't have to answer that. I'm an agnostic atheist. I don't know if God exists or not. I just choose not to believe he exists, and I choose to live my life as though he doesn't. That is all an agnostic atheist is. I don't have to prove shit, okay? You're the one with the positive claim. I'm not saying God doesn't exist, although there are Gnostic atheists out there that I would say have the same burden of proof that any theist would, okay? So if you're a Gnostic atheist, you still have to explain how you know for certain that God doesn't exist. But this is what Christians do all the fucking time, is they love to lump atheists, the group of people known as atheists, into like a Gnostic atheist, which is a bit more specific of a description of a person, or rather their belief about God in general, or belief and knowledge. And so they love to do this regularly, is lump everybody in. And that's a fallacy in and of itself. I believe that's the composite fallacy. It's totally fucking bullshit.
Actually makes much more sense, and it's actually much more normal in the brain for a creator creating the earth, because everything works like a clock on the earth. The sun comes up, the sun goes down, the moon comes out, it gets...
No miscommunication there, honey. No, sun goes up, sun goes down, tide comes in, tide comes out. I've been watching way too much of that ass grabber. What? Bill O'Reilly. Hand grabs the ass, hand releases the ass, and also gets fired from Fox News.
Dark, and we have seasons. Everything works like a clock.
Okay, you think that it's more probable that some magical man in the sky has designed it that way, rather than in thinking that, oh, all of these things are consequences of each other. Like the seasons is a consequence of the earth rotating on its axis and then revolving around the fucking sun. Like, that's part of it. Like, there's a lot of different factors that go in here. You don't need an intelligent fucking designer, okay?
And I'm sorry, I have to go into like the natural reserves and, Montana this weekend. I can't just sit there and say that was just all an accident or that all came from nothing.
I get your position here, bro. I really do. Because I was once dumb as fuck as well. But you can't just sit there and assume that there had to be some kind of designer just because shit looks pretty or shit works like you know it to work. Those are bad reasons to think God exists. Those are definitely bad reasons for you to be chastising some random unknown girl, or at least unknown to us, on the internet. All you're doing is making a fool out of yourself.
And the God illusion and the Richard Dawkins thing, all that stupid shit that, that this business of this earth coming by accident is really nuts.
Is it? It's more nuts. It's nutsier. It's more nuts. It's nutsier than a payday compared to a fucking donkey complaining to the guy that's beating on it. It's nuttier. Nuts. It's nutsier, guys. It's nutsier. It's nuttier than that. I find it hilarious whenever somebody says that it's nuttier to think that just random chance, if you will, created the earth. And that's not exactly what created the earth, but like it's how he perceives it. Random chance was just sort of the mechanism in which the earth came into existence. It's not what created the earth. It's just that event had random chance on its side. But I get how I mean, when you're this dumb as fuck, I can understand how he would think that.
How does Christianity know they can't prove that God exists? Yes, we can.
Oh, please, tell me, how does God exist, random white dude on the internet?
Oh, really? How can you prove God exists? There's no scientific proof. Well, there's no scientific proof.
Oh, well, fuck me, there's no scientific proof, but...
There's no historic truth, but spiritual truth.
Spiritual truth. What the fuck is spiritual truth exactly? Oh yeah, that's right. It's bullshit.
And the spiritual truth, where that comes from, comes from this big boy right over here.
Oh no! What? Don't pull out your redwood, buddy. I mean your pine twig,
which is called the Holy Bible.
Holy fuck, honey! He has a Bible. That just refutes all of science right there. Fuck it, Bible. Bible is just all that it is and all it'll ever be. Bible's got the answer. What's 2 plus 2 equal? No, it equals Jesus, honey. God damn it.
This thing is actually written during the time when Jesus was around. Actually, it's called the...
Fucking hold on a minute. It was written when Jesus was around. Motherfucker, the Old Testament was written around 5 BC, okay? And even then, that was only part of it because it was still being written up until the 2 BC or 3 BC and 2 BC. So you're wrong there. The New Testament, actually, I meant 500 BC. I meant 5th century BC. That's what I meant. 5th century BC is when the Old Testament was written. 3rd and 2nd century, it was still being written because that's when the later books were written. But even so, that Bible right there is only the Bible for your particular version of Christianity. Catholics actually have a couple more books in the Old Testament than your Bible does because the Protestants were like, fuck this Maccabee shit, we don't need it.
Apostles. I recommend you to read this. It's called the Holy Bible.
No shit. Look at that shitting grin he has. It's the Holy Bible. It's got the truth in it. Ah.
Yeah. And the apostles are the ones who wrote it.
No. The apostles didn't write it. The apostles didn't exist, motherfucker.
Back at the time when Jesus was around and saw everything Jesus did. How do you know, Christian? Well, we actually have a lot of religious scientists who have looked inside the Bible, tested fingerprints in the Old Testament during the time when the apostles John, Peter, and Paul would be around. And they actually certified it is actually them.
How? How did they verify the fingerprints? I'm not sure if this is a legit video anymore. I'm wondering if this is a Poe. I really do. I'm wondering if it's a Poe because there's no way they could have pulled a fingerprint off of the pages of any kind of manuscript and gotten like the apostles' fingerprint. For one thing, we don't know what the apostles' fingerprints were. We don't have records going back to 1st century BC. You know, we just don't have that shit.
Well, what about, so how do you know Jesus existed then? Besides using the Bible, Christian, how do you know Jesus existed?
That's a good question. A scholar extraordinaire on YouTube, could you please tell me?
Well, there's the Shroud of Turin. How do we know the Shroud of Turin existed?
Well, yeah, the Shroud of Turin does exist, but it was dated to 1300s, I want to say. Yeah, 1300s, AD, or yeah, you know AD because that's all Christianity and shit. What? CE, Common Era.
Well, the Shroud of Turin has actually been tested by scientists and actually is known and believed to be Shroud of Jesus Christ.
No, it's not. These are blatantly false things.
Well, how do we know that exists? What are other proof? There's afterlife and death experiences. Oh, wait, according to Richard Dawkins, you're schizophrenic.
Wait, what? How do we go from life and death experience to fucking schizophrenia? Like, that seems like a wide range of shit to talk about. For one thing, life and death experiences are anecdotal. Mainly, they're anecdotal. But also we can't test to prove that any soul leaves the body. Second of all, there's a lot of shit that goes on in the brain that we just don't understand. And so there's no way for us to delineate shit that happens before you die and shit that happens after you die. With the fact that if you are indeed brain dead, like legit brain dead, there is no neural activity going on. They want to claim that the soul has left the body, and that's the reason why no neural activity is going on, but yet they gain these particular memories. But that is indeed bullshit, because you don't know what happened at the time before the brain went dead. You don't know what happened there. After the brain comes back to life in that instance, you don't know what was retained beforehand, and you also don't know what happened as they were coming back to life, like or becoming not brain dead, or recovering from brain deadiness.
I can, and he's saying that it's practically schizophrenia, and Christians should be locked up believing in a supreme being. But it is actually really easy to believe an Earth coming by accident. Yeah.
Well, random chance was the mechanism, I guess, or the situation, whatever, however the fuck you want to say it. But yeah, we have natural see, the reason why it's not crazy is that we have natural processes to explain it. It's not crazy. You know what's crazy is thinking a guy, or a god rather, sneezed into some dirt and accidentally created humans.
That's really easy to believe, right? That's a lot of believing. Next step, Holy Bible is actually the clearest thing and is actually the #1 sold book in the world.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a major religion, so of course it's going to be one of the longest running books, but also one of the most sold books. Also, that doesn't, like, an ad populum argument is in no way indicative of any kind of truth other than the fact that there's a lot of dumb fucks out there.
Yeah, it's the #1. You can look this up. Look at it. If you want to deny that I'm wrong, all right, I challenge you to look it up and figure out what is the #1 time religious book.
I like how it's now with this particular statistic that he brings up. I challenge you to go and look. Motherfucker, this doesn't validate your claims at all. That's the only reason why you're telling us to go and look it up. Because of course it's true, but I can guarantee you that the Quran right now is probably giving the Bible a run for its money.
In book of all, the Holy Bible. Well, it's not normal. This one girl made me laugh. She says, "Oh, it's not normal. That's real normal of Adam and Eve coming from God's rib and this and that."
Whoa. I think he must have misspoke there, because he said that Adam and Eve came from God's rib, not Eve coming from Adam's rib, because Adam was fucking made out of snot and dirt.
Adam and Eve actually was real. It actually makes sense. But I believe in the theory of evolution. Theory of evolution is true. You're absolutely right. It is true. But Christians don't believe in the theory of evolution. We do.
Not all of you. Some of you don't believe in evolution. Dumb fuck. Why don't you go and look that up on the internet?
We believe in a lot of scientific theories. We believe in Albert Einstein. We believe in Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, I mean, we have evidence for Albert Einstein and Hawking. Like, I don't know what you mean, I believe. Like, do you have a shirt that's like, I believe in the Hawking? Like, is Hawking some other kind of thing, or what? Because you don't believe in.
But actually, you know what? Stephen Hawking is a genius, and he actually says there is no way that an Earth can come by accident. And if you don't believe me, look on Stephen Hawking's autobiography, and he actually says that.
Okay, he might have said that it's highly improbable, which it is. I'll even admit that it's highly improbable that an Earth like ours came into existence, but with the vastness of the universe, it makes total sense that multiple Earths are going to exist.
So instead of you believing in some fantasy as an atheist, believing that we should all not believe in a God and not have moral rules and not treat people with love and respect.
Hey, that is nothing that, no, like, I don't even know how to respond to that. That's so dumb that I don't know how to respond, because atheists just don't believe in a God. We don't say, oh, there's no moral rules, everybody just go fucking crazy, don't pay your taxes and shit. Even paying taxes isn't a moral rule. Yeah, not paying taxes is a religious thing, that's right.
Hate people and just think that we freaking know it all and focus on money and spending and shit, which generally a lot of atheists do. Actually, I think it makes more sense of a creating being, creating a universe, than it come by accident and created by nothing.
It's easier to believe that I shit rainbows and cupcakes. That doesn't make it true, though.
See, just think about it. If I have a hand...
Yes, you have a hand, thank you.
And there's nothing in my hand. And if
No, there's stuff in your hand still, dipshit. There's, air in your hand that is comprised of various different things. You're not in a vacuum at all.
I close it and I open it and there's still nothing. How does that make sense?
If I open my hand and I close it and I open it back up real quick, there's nothing there. How does that make sense? Really? Can't fucking explain that. Hand closes, hand opens, still nothing fucking there. Can't explain that. Goddamn Bill O'Reilly ass-grabbing motherfucker. It makes sense, because just because you go like this as if you're some kind of president trying to grab pussy. I mean, that in no way is reminiscent of the Big Bang, how the Earth came into being, or anything like that.
And that is exactly the logic of science beliefs.
Science beliefs. Science has facts, motherfucker. Facts, scientific theories, and hypotheses.
That's how pathetic science is.
No, the biblical God is definitely pathetic as fuck.
So you're disregarding science? I'm not disregarding science. I'm disregarding science thinking that they know there is no God, which
science thinking that there is no God. Actually, science doesn't weigh in on whether or not there is a God, because you can't prove something that's supernatural. As soon as you can prove something to be supernatural or not supernatural, as soon as you can explain away with science something that was formerly known as supernatural becomes natural. That's why the supernatural doesn't exist.
They have no proof. They will one day have a proof. No, they will not. Science can only go so far, buddy.
Hold my beer.
Science can only prove what they could touch, smell, hear, and see.
Okay, that encompasses all of reality. If God exists outside of reality, then I would definitely classify the whole concept of God as irrational as...
That's it. I'm just saying, use your brain.
I'm just saying, use your brain. I really appreciate everybody joining me tonight. I hope that you enjoyed it as well. If you will, leave a like on this video. If this is on YouTube, subscribe, motherfucker. And I will see you heathens later. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathen.
I have you now.